Alright. Alright, so yeah, so let's get started. So I'm gonna be doing this video on YouTube, guys, as well as on here on Twitch live. So let's begin. So hello YouTube, this is Pink Asuna coming to you today with a new deck profile for Yu-Gi-Oh, guys. I know I haven't been on for a whole week, guys. I've been a little busy, offline pretty much, but I also been busy with Genshin Impact. But yeah, I did make some time today to do a video for you guys here on YouTube as well, and also on Twitch, show it off. So if you are on Twitch, you are watching this pretty much fresh, live right now. I just wanted to let you guys know that. But if you are watching on YouTube, this will be on after I'm done here on Twitch. So you guys are able to see the deck profile that I am going to bring you guys. This deck is a deck that pretty much been sliding, since pretty much it released. One of the archetypes, because it's made out of two different archetypes, guys. I'm pretty sure you guys know what deck I'm talking about right now. Or if you guys are watching on YouTube, you guys definitely know what I'm talking about. Which two archetypes? One of them came back last year and pretty much came back full powered towards almost the end of the year. So where I'm at, we didn't really get to mess with it too much, but we got to mess with it enough to to see its meta. And up to right now, guys, I've been just kind of waiting to make this video because I was curious to see if the ban list was gonna hit this deck, because both of these engines into one deck is super strong, guys. And my thing is, when you have two engines that are really strong, they usually tend to hit them. But this two engines, one of them just came back last year. The other one's been pretty much around since it released. I don't think it's ever been touched. So it's pretty cool to see, that this two decks could be split out into different engines, and separate engines, I should say, and still do just as good as they are about to be doing together, guys. So I did update this deck profile. This deck is already considered meta. I just haven't seen that many streamers. Like, I usually keep up with Team Sam, Simo, with different streamers. I've been Hassel Champs, and I haven't really seen them talk about this deck or at all that much. They're usually just talking about the actual meta decks that we already know because we see them. But I do think it's kind of funny because the decks I bring on this channel, guys, are all decks that are actually able to compete with meta. So the variants I make, they're actually actual meta relevant variants. But I do like to share them here, so you guys are all able to see them. So yeah, let's begin. And let's get started. And this is the deck profile that I'll be showing you guys today. It's gonna be Shaddoll invoked. So I'm pretty sure you guys know where this is going. This deck I know was meta before we got into the whole crush card conspiracy. Since we can't say the other word here on YouTube or here on Twitch, apparently, without getting flagged. So yeah. This is a deck profile. I did do some tweaks on it, so that's why you only see one. Because I remember before you used to play triple of this, and I remember also before you used to play Call by the Grave, and then, there was just a lot of things, this card's worn out. So, now the deck is much more stronger than it was before, guys. So, yeah, if you do, so let me get started, so I can show you guys, the ratios and pretty much explanation. So pretty much most of the cards are pretty self-explanatory. So we obviously play triple Alistair. Again, just first turn extender, pretty much starts your plays. I'm pretty sure you guys know what Alistair does by now. Mostly. I do play two Rishadal Wendy's. Again, you want to see this card. Also sort of in the first turn, but you want to pretty much either have it on hand already or pretty much have an easy way to search for it. Another extender pretty much. Ariel, again, this one, we'll get into it. This goes more with the fusions or with the trap card that you see it towards the end. This card, that's why you only play this card at 1. You only want to play this card at 1 because of that reason. You do play Shaddoll Beast because, again, drawing, always good. Powder Greed effect, always good. One Falco, again, Monster Reborn, or I guess you could say it would be Monster Reborn. Or also have the chance, Pretty much special summon something face down defense, so set. So it pretty much is another extender, pretty much. Um, Two hedgehogs. Again, this is pretty much a reinforcement of the army for any of your shaddoll spell or trap cards, and also, like you're able to pretty much just by flipping you could do that effect, and also if it's sent from to the graveyard by a card effect, you get to add one shaddoll monster from deck to the hand. So pretty much like just again reinforcement of the army. Either way you look at it, I mean whether it's spell trap or monster effects. So this card's really good. Two Squamata, like pretty similar. This is pretty much like pretty much I guess you could say Man-Eater Bug, I guess, on flip, or you could be like if it's sent to the graveyard, you get to send. So pretty much it's a Foolish Burial at that point, guys. So it's either getting your Foolish Burial or you're getting a Man-Eater Bug effect. Definitely very good card to have again. And all these cards obviously trigger when they're sent to the graveyard, so by a card effect. So it could be any way, whether you're using your shaddoll spell card, shaddoll fusions, or your invocations, or pretty much anything like that. It all works, guys. So that's all for shadolls, at least on the monster lineup. We are also playing two damage jugglers, guys. Damage jugglers, another really good enabler. Because it has a quick effect. You could discard this card, negate the activation. So pretty much, when you take any kind of damage, you just pretty much discard it, negate the activation, and you do destroy this card. Pretty much, whenever a card effect or effect is activated, that would inflict damage. So pretty much, I know there's a couple of decks out there that still burn, not as much as they were in here, but I mean there is some still out there. So that's why this card would come in handy. It's a level 4 also, so I mean you guys know where this is going. We do play one Trick Clown as well, another really good extender. For hand traps, we do play Triple Gamma and obviously the one Driver. Again, this is pretty much your hand trap of choice that you have to play in here. My choice, I also wanted to add two Ash Blossoms since since you can't play more than one Call by the Grave. It's kind of pointless to do that, so now I just added two Joy Springs to pretty much stop what normally Call by the Grave or have some kind of more interaction with my opponent, I should say, to play against. So that's why this card's in here. You could also play Infinite Impermanence. I know that's another one that people probably would suggest in here. I know. But again, I'm only trying to keep it with one trap on hand. Another card that you could try in here too that would do really good is Phantasme. That's another one. That one's pretty good too. I mean, there's quite a few different ways you could change it. I mean, there's there's different ways you could play this deck. I'm just showing you guys like a cookie cutter, I guess you could say, kind of variant, just so you guys could see it. But yeah, I mean, definitely very good. That's all for monsters, at least on this variant. For spells, we are playing triple Shaddoll Fusion. We're playing 2 L Shaddoll Fusion. Again, so pretty much all these cards again, the polymerizations, summon pretty much, this will be used for your Shaddolls. So summon any of the Shaddoll fusions that I'll be showing you guys. 3 Evocations. You could drop this down to 2, but it just depends on you guys if you guys do want to do that. I still like this card at 3, at least for this variant. Other variants, I would play it at 2. And something funny about this card is a lot of people still don't know, and I thought they did by now, that you can use Invocation as a Shaddoll Fusion kind of thing. So you can fusion summon just Shaddoll cards, actually, guys, like Shaddoll monsters. So you go into like Winda, Construct, like whatever you need. You don't technically need a Shaddoll Fusion. If you start out with an Invocation, you could use that to fusion any of the Shaddolls together too. You don't need the Alistair. So this apparently a lot of people still don't know this, and I'm very shocked. But again, I'm making this clear on this video and here on stream, so you guys, everyone's able to know that and get that out of their head, because I just think it's kind of funny. I also do play 1 Instant Fusion. I know this card used to be at 3, and I know at 1 it's the same thing as Call by the Grave. It's very situational, but situation could still be there. And the fact that you get to play with monsters that are, like, with this kind of effects, why not, But if you do want to take it out again, this would be one card you could take out, I guess, if you don't like it. Another one would be, like I said, I mean, what is another one that I was saying that's situational? The Falco is another one that could be situational nowadays. So I mean, oh, one of the invocations. That was the other one. Yeah. So I do play also triple meltdown because again, you want to kind of start off with this card on the beginning because this card will give you this card and then this and then the invoker will give you obviously the invocation. So why wouldn't you want to thin your deck by 3 cards, pretty much 2 or 3 cards, when you can, you know? So it's always a win. One terraforming again, this will get you your meltdowns much quicker. So this will be a +3 or +4, you know, on thinning your deck. So why wouldn't you, you know? After this is pretty much like, you know, I only play one Pot of Desires. I know I used to play this at 2 before. I dropped it down to 1 because now we have triple tactic talents. Your opponent does stop anything that they probably will be. You have the option not only to draw 2 cards, or you can just take control of one monster your opponent controls until the end phase, or you can look to your opponent's hand, choose 1 card from it, and shuffle. So pretty much you get your opponent's knowledge. So that's huge, guys. I'd rather play this card any day of the week than this card. I'm even thinking I'm just playing triple tactics. I mean, and just taking out the Pot of Desires. That's like one option. Another option that I am looking at is taking out this Pot of Desires and adding a Pot of Avarice. Pot of Avarice is so strong because it recycles your whole engine and your whole extra deck pretty much, so you can reuse it again. So let's say like they stop your interaction halfway on the beginning, just having a Pot of Avarice for our next turn is so huge, guys. Like, you know, it lets you go into pretty much, like, you know, it gives you guys plenty of options, you know, to rewind and just get you that strong board all over again for nothing, pretty much. And you draw 2 cards, so it's very strong, guys. You know, I also do play 1 Mystic Mine for in case again they stop you mid game. You just stop pretty much. You play the Mystic Mine. Your opponent's forced to limit themselves to play the same number as you to get rid of that Mystic Mine. And if they do overextend, they're pretty much kind of messed up. They're done for, because they won't be able to do anything. Like, you know, that's why this card's huge and strong. I mean, I'm surprised Konami hasn't hit this card. Like, you know, and it looks like they're never gonna hit it. I mean, I just think it's super funny to have a card with this kind of caliber and so strong still at 3, guys. Like, you know, it's so insane. I'm only playing it at 1 because I want to see it, but I don't want to see it every single game just because I know how much people hate this card. And then the last card is the trap card, shaddoll. Like, you know, the trap card. So pretty much this would just be a pretty much monster reborn from banish pile for any shaddoll monster. So pretty much this is the kind of thing you want to bring back, like Construct, Wenda, like, you know, just bring them back and you pretty much beat your opponent with them. Like, you know, or you could do you could target 1 shaddoll monster in your graveyard, special summon in face up, face down position. You could banish this card and 1 other shaddoll in the graveyard, then activate one of the effects. So pretty much it has a double ability at the same time. I think it's pretty awesome, guys. But yeah, this is a 40-card deck, guys. Very strong, pretty good deck. I mean, I really think this deck could be still meta actually right now. Like, you know. But yeah, I mean, let's see. Before I do continue, let's see what I have. Person asking me a question. Let's see. So he's saying, I think that Avarice is kind of counters your own Alistairs because you are basically removing your own fusion material. But I could see where you're coming from. Yeah, so I do see that too. I mean, like, you know, the Alistairs could interfere with the Pot Avarice, but what I'm talking about is, like, let's say you don't have Alistair in your hand. There's always like that if, you know, because you're not always gonna have an Alistair in the graveyard. So yeah, I mean, and then I have another question. So same person, cycling back your shadolls is very strong. Yes, it is. I do agree on that too. I mean, that's why I think this deck is still a contender. Like, you know, that could keep up with meta decks, and it'll keep them in check because a lot of decks nowadays they special summon. Like, you know, a lot of decks are afraid of constructs still. A lot of decks, like, you know, if you stop them with Megava, they're pretty much gonna be hurting. Or if you got Percatrio and they have a full board, you're gonna be able to attack on each of them. You can be able to attack their entire board, and if they don't have any way to stop it, you pretty much, like, you know, it has different kinds of ways on winning, guys. But we'll get to the fusions right now. I just wanted to make sure that I talked about each card on the main deck and closely, like, you know, let you guys know why this deck still keep up. I mean, with the meta decks right now. Because if you look at the meta right now, a lot of decks do go with graveyard effects. So unfortunately, yeah, you go with graveyard effects as well. So you can't play cards like D-Fisher or anything like that to banish them. Otherwise, that would ruin the purpose of your deck too. So yeah, yeah, let's get into the fusions, guys. So we do play the one Mechaba again. It interrupts your opponent. So and it's a 2500 beater light, so pretty good card. And you could also use your Alistair as a pretty much you could just pitch it, give it 1,000, boom. You also play one invoked Raijin. Again, you want to play the one copy of it because of the quick effect it has once per turn. Target one monster in the field, change it to face down defense position. So like if your opponent's if you're playing against, for instance, against dinosaurs or something like that, you could just book a moon their their monster. It's quick effect, so they can't really stop most of the time. Trio again, if your opponent has a big board, you could just pretty much beef up your Trio and attack everyone, and pretty much burn them too. So I mean, this is because it does do piercing damage. So this is huge, guys, for a card like this. I know Duel Links had to take care of this deck. At least the invoked engine finally. But yeah, Konami hasn't taken care of it here on TCG, so that's why this deck is still really strong, guys. This card is also huge, guys. This is a newer card. I do like it at one. If this card is special summon or a monsters is special summon to your opponent's field, you could target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it. So pretty much this gets rid of one problem card. And it's also an invoked. So you could also use it to pretty much extend with the invocation. If you guys do need that, I mean, you could go into this, and then if you have another Alistair in the graveyard, you could just go invocation, and then you could just go Mechaba, because it's also light. So that's why I do kind of like it, just for that kind of thing. And then it also has another effect. Once per turn, you could banish one fusion monster in your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to the banished monster until the end of your opponent's turn. So this will be stronger than what it's here, guys. That's why this card's good. And then Construct, you guys already know what this card does. I mean, this card extends. It's Foolish Burial on summon. Pretty much, whether at damage step, start damage step, if this card battles a special summon monster, destroys that monster. So pretty much you guys already know this card's gonna be a problem for your opponent to get rid of. I remember when I brought on my opponents before, they were pretty much scooping most of the time. I know I played plenty of Salamangreats, dinosaurs. I even play a lot of mirror matches back on January. I mean, because that's pretty much the thing. The last time this deck was kind of meta relevant around it was from November through March. That's when we went in through this kind of phase through Crush Card that we're on right now. So yeah, I mean, I also do play 2 Winda, guys. Again, this just special summoning this. Most people will scoop because they don't just special summon once. They do tend to special summon multiple times. So looking at dinosaurs, looking at I think Virtual World. I mean, pretty much every deck right now that's meta pretty much special summons multiple times. Whether it's from graveyard, hand, deck. I mean, they could do it all now. We do play the one Alpacone. Millennium Eyes again for instant fusion. Again, this just bait out your opponent's hand traps or that kind of stuff, and your opponent does stop this and negate it or something, or stop it with a hand trap. You still have the option to link summoning to a higher link for free. You do play the one copy of Alistair. Again, this is another extender. This card could get you game, especially if you do play Book of Knowledge, or not Book of, or Judgment. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I'm probably saying it wrong. Typed it wrong. No. Okay, I mean, I know there's a Invoker card. I'm trying to see. I had it on my head. It was something, I'm trying to remember what it is, but yeah, that card would definitely be. Oh, here we go. So the Book of Law, guys. This is another card, guys. Like if you do play this card and you activate effect to discard a card and you add uh, the Book of the Law, guys, you're pretty much gonna be set. Especially if you have a fusion on the field, you're pretty much set. Like hands down, because this does count as an Alistair too on field. So the fact that you're able to that you have that option, you can just attack with this, attack with whatever fusion you have, then activate Book of Law during battle. You just swap out and you just beat your opponent with you just go for game pretty much. So this is another option that you guys it's option that you guys could add. I mean, again, only the one copy, just because again you don't want to see it, but situational, just like the Pot Avarice. Depends what certain matchups you're getting into. You're also playing one copy of Cross Sheep. Again, extender. It does give you depending on what you do. So most people are gonna fusion summon, so you're gonna be able to get a free special summon level 4 lower from your graveyard. So why wouldn't you? That's the only reason I think you would use it in here for that effect. So just an extender, definitely. Salmon Great Almirage, again, this will be going for your Alistair on turn 1. You go into Almirage, so now you have a fire target on the field, you have an Alistair in the graveyard, plus whatever your opponent has or whatever you have in the graveyard. So it gets kind of huge, guys. We still do play the one board sword. You could play board sword, just to push for game. Again, a lot of pretty much cards that you're watching here are being pushed for game kind of thing. If you don't like board sword that much, you could play Appaloosa. That's another one. But I do think board sword's much more better. And then also the new addition is Axis Skull Talker, another card that just pushes for game if you play it correctly, guys. Gain 1,000 life, or not 1,000 life, but 1,000 attack, or by just pretty much getting by having links in your graveyard. So again, late game situation card. So this is pretty much early game and then late game, pretty much to push for game or whatever you need. But yeah, this is the deck profile, guys. I wanted to show you guys today. I feel that this deck is very strong and could contend with the meta. If you guys haven't watched my other videos, I do tend to make videos. And right here, I can show you guys a list of the decks I have. So I've made up-to-date Dark Magician. I've made a Dino Lightsworn deck. I've made Dragon Maid Dragma. I've made just pure Dragon Maids. I've made the invoked shaddoll that you're watching. I made a up-to-date Lightsworn, Grand Maju, Marincess, Toon Strikers, Trickstar Striker. Trying to see what's this one. Okay, so I even made this one actually, Evil Twin, Dragon Maids. And these are all decks, guys, that are really strong, guys, and could contend with the meta right now. I even made an invoked Dragon Maid variant. So again, guys, I do tend to make different kind of decks. Of decks that I enjoy. And they're all on YouTube videos, guys, so you guys are able to see them if you go on YouTube. But I also do post them sometimes here on Twitch, and I do play with them here on Twitch occasionally. So if you do want to watch that, make sure to follow me here on Twitch. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe on YouTube so you guys know when I'm posting videos, for in case you guys do miss my streams. You guys are able to see them and and just see what kind of new decks I make, but that are also meta, because I do test all these decks before I do post them. I test them for a few days to a week, just to make sure that I'm getting pretty accurate hands, and that I'm getting up to date on I'm just playing against certain meta decks. So again, this deck does fine against dinosaurs. This deck does fine against Virtual World. This deck does fine against Eldritch. So I played against, like I said, a few of those, and it does pretty good. I've also tested it with my own decks. It keeps up just fine. It works fine. This deck was meta for a reason before. And I still think it could still be meta if, or at least tier 2. But probably high tier 2, I would say. So yeah, guys, if you did enjoy the video, like I said, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Otherwise, make sure to follow me here on Twitch if you're watching. That way you guys know when I'm on. I also do play daily, for the most part, Genshin Impact. If you guys do enjoy Genshin Impact content, guys, make sure again to follow me here. Um, Other than that, guys, I am gonna be doing some other stuff in here on the channel, just trying to see what people like. If you guys do like me covering Yu-Gi-Oh and doing Yu-Gi-Oh, because like I said, I mean, I do make pretty good Yu-Gi-Oh deck list. I mean, I do tend to go a little bit away from the meta, but sometimes I do add some meta decks mixed with like some other stuff to give you guys some more variety on stuff. So if you guys do like that, like I said, make sure to follow. But other than that, guys, have a good night, and I will see you guys next time, okay? Goodbye.